surf and turf, surf and turf. I understand turf. I understand it quite well. Check that out. Making that tonight. But what about the surf? What do you do with the surf? Just a little shrimp? Is that really going to be the surf? I mean, I could make a salmon. I've made those before. But is that going to be the surf? No, my friends. That's not going to be the surf tonight. The surf tonight is lobster tail. Lobster tail. Yes, indeed. I'm going to get these guys going. They are going to come out buttery and tender and succulent. This is going to be a meal that is so easy to make that if I can cook it, you can cook it too. Are you interested in lobster tail? Let's head to the kitchen. The first thing that you normally do when you have lobster tails is you turn them over and you take off the little flippers that are underneath. Now our local seafood shop, Dixon Seafood here in the Peoria area, has already done that for me, so I'm not going to have to do that with these. But what I do want to do is grab some shears and I'm going to cut it right down the middle of the shell, right down here, all the way until the tail. And then I'm going to gently break the lobster flesh loose from the shell and then pull it out. I don't want it to break it loose down here on the bottom, but everywhere else I want it to be loose. And I'll walk you through how to do that. Get a good pair of kitchen shears. We're going to go ahead and start right here. And we are just going to cut all the way back until we get to the end. I'll go ahead and do it on this one. I'll do it left-handed, so you can see you can be ambidextrous with this. Maybe you can. All right, some of you can. I obviously can't. We'll go ahead and do this one too. A lot easier when you use your dominant hand. Okay, now that we have split our lobster tail right here down the center, we're going to I'm going to put it on its side and just gently press. And you'll hear it kind of separate. You don't want to do that really hard because you don't want to break any of the shell. You just want to separate some of the meat from the shell. So I'm going to do that with both of these. Ba-boom, ba-boom. And then I'm going to take my finger right here on the end and just start working it around the shell. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's working great. That is working great. So that it breaks, it comes loose of the shell, all of that flesh. And then we're going to pull that lobster flesh out of the shell just like this. And then we're going to rest it right on top. I'm going to go ahead and do that with both of these, and then we'll get on with the seasoning. Okay, now that we've got our lobster all ready to go, we're going to go ahead and make our marinade. It's going to be a wonderful buttery marinade. I'm going to obviously take butter for that. I'm going to add in a few cloves of garlic. I am going to add in a half of a lemon. Bring in some parsley. I've got about a tablespoon of parsley, about a half a teaspoon of paprika. I got about a half a teaspoon of lemon pepper, and we're going to bring that all into a nice little marinade. Wow. That smells pretty good, pretty good. That marinade turned out pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our lobster tails, we're going to put them in these cool little ramekin dishes, and one there, and one there. And then what I'm going to do is take my marinade, and I'm going to drizzle half of it on one and half of it on the other. By the way, you want to be sure you get some on the bottom as well. That's an area that some people seem to overlook, is that there's stuff on the bottom here. Now, the cool thing about using these marinade bowls, by the way, is that it will catch all of the drippings down below. So when you go to eat these things, oh man, it's going to be good, going to be good. All right. Yeah, just like that. Just tickle the underbelly of the lobster a little bit. Okay, so I am ready, just about ready anyway, to put these lobsters in the oven. But the challenge is this, I'm doing a surf and turf. So I want to make sure that my steak is done at the same time as my lobster. That requires me to do my steak pretty much a little bit ahead of the game. So I'm just going to let these guys rest just for a little bit while I work on the steaks. I'm not going to give you my recipe on how to do these steaks, at least not today. I'll do that later. Yeah, this is the surf of the turf. The turf will come later, but together these make an amazing meal. Just a simply wonderfully decadent, delicious meal. So tonight we get the surf. Next time or sometime down the road, we'll get the turf. With that, I'm gonna get busy on these. Okay, so my steaks are almost ready to go into the oven. I've had them searing on my stovetop. When they go in, so does my lobster tails. The steaks are gonna cook about 6 minutes, the lobster tail about 10 minutes. So by the time the steaks come out and sit for a couple minutes, everything will be good to go. Whoa. It's done. Check it out. Oh my goodness. When you're done, you're going to be at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And look at that. That really, not only, you can't smell it. Oh, if you could only smell it. And you can't taste it, but I'm going to taste it. Let's get this on the table. All right, here we are. Oh, what a feast. I don't know where to start. I just don't know where to start. But I'm going to start here because this was a focus. It was the surf rather than the turf this time. Wow, friends. Yeah. You're going to want to make this. It is an amazing meal. Give it a try. Hey, and if I can cook it, so can you. Come back to my channel anytime. I'm going to be making some more food, and I hope you enjoy everything I make because that's my goal, is to enjoy it as well. With that, happy trails. Talk to you later.